Hi there, Powerhouse. Welcome back. Today's episode is one of my favorite topics. It's all about marketing and specifically how to hope and conviction marketing and how you can use it to move from trusted teacher to visionary leader. As always, before we get started, make sure you hit the bell and you subscribe to our channel so you never miss a thing. Welcome to Powerhouse Business on YouTube. I'm your host, Carolin Soldo. I'm a business owner, business scaling master, and mom of 2 boys. I love thinking big, pushing boundaries, and doing things differently. Most of all, I'm all about achieving massive growth with ease and helping you scale your business while living the life you love. Let's go. Marketing is such an interesting topic, and at the core, when you think about it, it's all about creating a reputation of excellence. It's all about impacting perceptions of people and what people think and feel about you when they interact with you. And as business owners grow and go on their journey of expanding their business and learning about marketing, it's an interesting path of going from teaching and giving value and sort of proving that you know what it takes. So in the beginning, you're oftentimes a teacher, and also inspiring hope and making people believe that they can do it, and with your help, hopefully, they can accomplish what they want to do. But then beyond that, really moving into a space of thought leadership. And I see that as the ultimate outcome, where after years of experience and doing the work and doing the research and gaining your own experience, you will eventually be in a place where you have a strong conviction one way or another. You have strong opinions. You have these beliefs and thoughts that you want to share with the world. And that's when you move to a, visionary leader status in your field. Now, can you fast track that? Maybe by becoming aware of this journey, you can fast track it slightly and move from being a trusted teacher, which is a great place to be in, to visionary leader a lot more quickly and with a lot more ease. And today I'm talking to Kelly Roach about that. Kelly Roach is a business strategist, and she transforms overworked entrepreneurs into 7-figure CEOs by teaching them how to leverage timeless business principles employed by billion-dollar corporations with the speed and the agility of the most powerful online marketing strategies of today. Kelly is also the creator of the Life Launch Method and UnstoppableEntrepreneur.com. Welcome, Kelly.
Well, hello, Kelly. Thanks so much for being here today.
I am so excited to be here with you. Thanks for having me.
Of course. We have a really, really powerful topic today, marketing, right? And I love marketing. You're an amazing marketer. And the topic is how to hope and conviction marketing, right? And when I read that, I had to take a break and really think about what that is. But then the rest of it is how to move from being a teacher, right? A trusted teacher is what you call them, to really becoming a thought leader, a visionary leader, really that evolution and how that happens. Yes. I find that really, really interesting.
Let me talk first about kind of the 3 layers, because I think this is where people really get stuck. And this is why I created a model to try and actually explain to people how to elevate. Because I think what happens is you get into the market and we're taught that we need to create content. Everyone says content is king. Mm-hmm. I actually say content that converts is king, because you can create a lot of content that doesn't do anything, right? But you get into the market and you're told you need to create content. And so what we have here is, millions of aspiring online business owners and even growing business owners, even business owners that run multi-million-dollar companies offline that are now transitioning online, that are being told you have to create content. So where do we start? We start off by being the teacher. We demonstrate what we know. Mm-hmm. We share the how-tos. We walk people through tips, tricks, strategies, right? We give them new tactics to implement. And a lot of times people get stuck here because the market many times shows the most demand for urgent tactics that they can implement right away.
Yep.
So many times business owners think this is the thing. This is the end all be all. If I just teach enough on how to do Instagram reels, my brand is going to explode. I am going to be the go-to person. Mm-hmm. But the problem with these short-term tactics and the problems with teaching how to is, yes, you are positioning yourself as a teacher. You are sharing what you know. That's wonderful. You're adding value for people. But the problem is that if you place yourself in the category of tactics, you are now a commodity. Because what do people do, Carolyn? Every day they're looking for the latest, greatest, newest, shiniest, brightest, sexiest new tactic.
Yeah.
So for you as the business owner, it's almost impossible for you to build a global brand with a reputation that precedes you when you're focused on how-to marketing, because people are constantly exhausting the tactic that you're teaching. And now they're looking beyond you to go find, well, who's teaching the next thing? Because we all know entrepreneurs have ADD. They're always looking for, how do I sidestep doing the thing I really need to do right here by getting excited about this and this and this, right?
Yeah.
So we start off with how-to marketing. It's very important. It shows people that you're a step ahead of them. It demonstrates that you can add value. It starts building and putting fuel in the reciprocity tank. All very important things. I still do how-to marketing. My business is on its way from 8 to 9 figures. I'll never stop doing it.
Yeah.
But I don't do that, and I won't do that alone.
That's the key. So you're not saying don't do it. It has to be, it's part of the mix, but it can't be, end all be all. Yeah.
It has to be part of a bigger strategic vision. It has to be a part of this idea, and I'll get to the conviction piece of it in a minute. The second layer of it is the hope marketing. And the hope marketing is so, so important, because this is how you get people to stick with you on the journey. We all know that in a journey of transformation, and it doesn't matter what space you're in, relationships, wealth building, career, right? Family, money, business, entrepreneurship, that journey we all know. Huge ups and downs constantly. So they need to not just see you as a teacher that can add value for them, but really as their friend. This is where you're the person that says, keep going. I know what you're struggling with. I struggled with that too. Let me tell you my story, right? And we know that facts tell, stories sell. So now you're moving from how to hope. And in this hope range, this is where you begin to solidify, I'm going to be your friend that goes on this journey with you for a lifetime. I'm going to be here rooting for you on the sidelines. I'm going to cheer for you for your successes. I'm going to pick you up and help you dust yourself off on the failures. I'm going to share my journey and the things that I went through so that you know that you're not alone.
Yeah.
This is what creates that stickiness factor, right? When we tell about ourselves, when we share about ourselves, right?
Yeah.
But stories aren't enough, are they?
They're not, and they're tough, right? It's the vulnerability behind it, and really, knowing what stories to tell and what those peak emotional moments are, and then, being brave enough to share. Yeah. But I know all about it. Yes, absolutely.
Yes.
So then, keep going. Move us into the conviction phase.
Conviction is turning off all of the noise outside of your own heart, outside of your own intuition, outside of your own God-given downloads, right? For me, the biggest step in my career was about 3 years ago when I got off of every email list. I stopped consuming content online. I disengaged from everything else going on in the industry. And I said, I want to allow myself to receive and to operate from a clean place of total conviction and passion based on my intuition and my calling, versus have my message be influenced or have what I was doing in the market come from a place of, this is what's happening, this is what others are doing. And a lot of times this happens to us without knowing it. It's not that you try to be a part of the same conversation that your market's already having. Right. It's not that you try to copy someone else's idea. It's that a lot of times subconsciously you hold on to it and it feels safe to you because others are already doing it. Right. You're joining a conversation that's already happening versus creating your own. And so for anyone listening that's like, how do I find my convictions? How do I step into this category of one by bringing forward this new reality that comes from this deep place of who I am and what I'm really meant to be and why I'm actually here on the planet? You need to take a step back from all the noise. You need to allow yourself to get quiet and listen.
I think is really key, and I don't want to lose that thought. And that was the quietness and really sort of, tuning things out for a little while, so that you begin to ask what you want to bring to the market instead of what the market wants from you, right?
Yes.
I see it so quickly when people come and they ask me, well, what should I be saying? And what do they want to buy? And what do they want me to do for them? That's the wrong way around, right? So I sort of turn it around and say, no, it's about what you want to give to people. It's not how do I make it. It's like, what do you have to give? What do you want to share? What's important to you? And you can only hear that when you tune out other people's messages, because those are not yours. Yeah.
Yes, can I just add one thing on that, because what you just said there is so, so, so important. This is why so many entrepreneurs struggle to really break out. Sure. And I always have a phrase that I say in my own programs, which is stop trying to do the right thing, do the right thing. Yeah. And like, do you see the difference?
Total difference.
Like we have to let go of this idea of trying to do the right thing. What do I say? What do I sell? What is going to be the perfect thing that's going to be easily accepted in the market? For me, all of the things that have really become the pillars of our brand and how we've become what we are all the things that were initially unpopular and they were not being taught in the market. But I said, I'll take 3 years and I'll share this message over and over again for 3 years and I'll prove it, even though no one else is talking about it, because it's part of my conviction. I believe it to be true. I know it. And this is such an important part of this as well. I always say it's 5 to 15 years. The entrepreneurial bridge is 5 to 15 years across that bridge to freedom. And so if you're looking for a quick fix of what is the market already accepting, what is the message everyone is already sharing that I can share too, yes, that might serve you in that moment, but it will never separate you. It will never help you to categorically create your own lane in which you are respected as a world-class brand. And I would really like to elevate everyone's thinking. Because there's space for all of us. There's so much space for all of us, right?
Kelly, you brought up a really good point in terms of ease and keeping things simple. And, the getting your business to grow, the hustle method will do it for you, right? So you're working, and you try a lot of things. And eventually you sort of get to that point where you're longing for more of that time back and that ease. And you probably want to, look at your mindset, but also some simplification in your business, optimizing things. And you're known for a lot of amazing things. One of the things are, you mentioned your launch method, right? And the way that you market your business. So tell us more about that and maybe that's the thing, or maybe something else that has brought more ease to your business as well.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I just got back from a month of travel with my family. As I mentioned earlier, I have a 7-year-old.
Where'd you go?
And we were all over Florida, and we actually ended up buying another home down there, and it was great. We kind of went down the coast, and the live launch has been such a blessing in my life, not only because obviously before it, as I shared already, it was my biggest struggle. It was my biggest failure because I was successfully closing one-to-one in consultations. I could not figure out how to close one-to-many in a way that felt in integrity for me, in a way that, I could actually serve. Like, I'm meant to be here, like with you, like this is what I'm meant to do, and I was doing all these things with slide decks and, email funnels and all of these things. And that's not me, that's just not, that's not who I am. And there's nothing wrong with those things. There's people that they utilize those tools beautifully, right? But the live launch is so freeing, number one, because it's the most forgiving model. And what I mean by that is, and I said this earlier, I want to say it again, don't pretend that you live in a glass house when you live in a 3-ring circus. We are humans. Right. It's okay to be human, right? And I think one of the struggles, is this over-edited, kind of prefabricated, everything is perfect Instagram lifestyle that everyone is trying to cultivate. And, I think the live launch allows you to be free because you're live
streaming.
No do-overs.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So so you're doing, it's all based on live streaming on various social platforms. Yeah.
It's all live. It's all live. It creates this unbelievable buildup of energy and passion and community and two-way interaction. And it really moves the person that is experiencing your launch from being a passive participant that's watching and listening to a series of videos to becoming someone that is fully integrated in this journey and this process. And what I teach in the live launch is something called the WIN. And that is wonder and awe, instant breakthrough, and no-brainer offer. Okay. So literally your goal in your live launch is to help people get a bigger and better result for free than the last couple things in your industry that they paid for. And why I designed the live launch this way is that I myself sat through so many webinars, so many launches that literally after going through them, I disassociated from the person because I felt disgusting. I sat through a 45-minute pitch with 15 minutes of content. We've all experienced these things. And so again, coming back to this idea of conviction, I said, okay, treat others how you want to be treated. What can I design that is going to be this experience that even if someone never buys from me, they are going to become an ambassador in the market that says, you want to learn how to launch? Oh my gosh, this free workshop that Kelly does will blow your mind. And so the live launch is intended to be delivered over and over and over again. It's one of the things that is very unique about it. We teach launch cycling. And that means that instead of each time you do a launch, designing new content, designing, new ads, designing new emails, all of that, you design one launch, you deliver it 6 to 8 times a year, and you scale it and scale it and scale it. And we went from, our first one was like $10,000, and now consistently every time we deliver it, it's a multi-million-dollar launch for us. And it's just a matter of practice. The problem with the traditional models that we've all been taught, and I think one of the things that I struggle with to even begin to be successful launching was you do it so infrequently that you can never develop mastery. Mastery is 10,000 hours. If you're launching once or twice a year, you'll be 80. You'll be 80 by the time you get,
That's a good point. Yeah, rinse and repeat. People are so tired and exhausted after a launch, right? Even a live launch, I can see people, because, you call it a challenge or a live launch or, what you want. It's, you have to show up and, go through that. But you can, that's what an entrepreneur does, right? You come back and you do it again. But I like it's the same thing, so you get to perfect the message. What is the difference? Why do you prefer a 9-day live launch over the traditional, events? We go to these big events and a 2-day event, 1-day, 3-day event. What makes that difference? Maybe it's easier. I can see that being a lot easier than, showing up for 3 full days. But is there anything else that you think sets that apart?
Yeah, we tested a lot of different models in creating the live launch, and I do teach a 48-hour version, and I teach a 1-hour version and all of that. But I always say the degree to which you build the reciprocity investment bucket is the degree to which you're going to scale the result. If you're willing to give 1 hour of your time, your results are going to coincide with that. And I do that. I call them live webinars, a 1-hour sales presentation. We've all done them, right? And you can use 6 figures from that, right? But when you are getting to the point where you want to scale and you want to build a global brand and you want to bring in hundreds of clients at once at a high ticket, I coach people to build high ticket programming. So that's my specialization. Our clients run programs that are anywhere from like $10,000 to $50,000. Okay. So that's really who Live Launch is designed for. When someone is making what might be the third biggest investment of their entire life, besides their education, their house, and their car, a lot of times, if they just found out about you on day one, to help them to get through the psychological hurdles and the barriers and to take them through the know, like, and trust process, you need a couple of days of relationship building and a couple of days of them getting value and taking action and getting results. So I did test a lot of different timelines. And what we found is that the 9 was really the most effective. We teach 4 days where you're purely teaching, you're adding value, you're getting them to take action, you're helping them get results. And then you pivot into the invitation where for 5 days it's case studies, testimonials, Q&As, all the traditional things that everyone knows, right? It's all the things that we already know work. There's 11 buying triggers, that we all know work. And it's going to bring them in here. But again, it's this component and dynamic of being live and having this very specific, I think intentionality is really important. I think intentionality and conviction go hand in hand. When you show up from a heart of service. And when you show up with the mentality that whether or not this person buys from me, I will develop someone that will be a raving fan for life. And that's the way that you run your launch. Now you're talking about conviction marketing. Now you're talking about building a global brand. Now you're elevating from implementing a tactic to get a transactional sale to building a global brand that people from around the world are going to be magnetized to.
And they can feel it too, right? You can feel when someone shows up like that, you can absolutely feel it. Yes.
Yeah.
So you have a free resource for us to get into this method and learn more about it. Tell us more about the resource, Kelly.
Yeah, so my team has set up some great resources so that you guys can get a free copy of the live launch book. So I actually wrote a book. I detailed the entire strategy. I included 40 case studies of individuals in all different types of industries and business models to help you understand this. And there's a couple ways you can get it. So if you're in the US, you can text the word society to 610-426-1344. So if you're in the US, you can do that there. You can DM me on Instagram and the team will shoot it over. We'll make it really, really easy.
We'll put the number below in the description. So if you didn't catch that, you don't have to go back. Check the description. Yes. We'll put it right there.
Yep. Or you can go to livelaunchbook.com and you can grab a free copy there. But one way or another, hunt down my team. They'll give you a free copy of the book. It's a quick, easy read. It will change your life. There's so many examples and specifics. And we've had people just from reading the book go out, take action for free, and generate additional sales in their business. So I would love to invite everyone to do that.
Great value, a full book at no cost. We have the link and the numbers and everything down below in the description. So go and check it out. I think it's a fabulous method. I love the authenticity behind it, the ease, yet strategy. It's a strategic approach, right? But it really is leading with love. So that's so great. So Kelly, I want to thank you so much for being here. This was awesome. Any last words, any last advice you want to give to our audience?
Yeah, I mean, I think the biggest thing is if you can dream it, you can do it. And, obviously they're in the right place because they're listening to your show already. So I would say lean in, you have a great mentor here, right here with this show. And, just trust, listen to your intuition. We were all given a purpose. There's a plan. There's a bigger reason for being here. Don't let the little everyday setbacks prevent you from pursuing your bigger purpose and making it happen.
Couldn't agree more. Thank you, Kelly. Thank you so much for watching.
Thanks so much.
See you again soon.
Bye.
Bye.
And now we would love to hear from you. Leave me a comment down below. Do you see yourself as a trusted teacher? Are you loving hope type marketing? Are you loving the inspirational side of your business? Or are you already moving into the thought leadership and your goal is to really be a visionary leader, or you already see yourself as a visionary leader the way you are right now? Let's have a conversation, and also don't forget to share with us what your conviction really is. What do you love to teach? What is your inspiration all about? But what do you really stand for, and what do you really believe in? Leave us a comment down below. We would love to hear from you. As always, if you liked this episode, give us a like, subscribe to our channel, maybe share it with your friends on social media, and then make sure you come back again next week. I believe in your goal, so stay focused on what you want. Stand behind your beliefs, grab that conviction, really, share that message with the world and do the work you're meant to do. Do you often feel stressed and overwhelmed from growing your business? Do you crave more ease and happiness from your success? What if I gave you a tool that has the power to instantly make you feel focused, peaceful, and at ease, all while growing your business faster than ever before? I've created the Business Growth Scorecard that has helped countless businesswomen replace overwhelm with confidence, and now the scorecard is available online. It's free, takes less than 10 minutes, and provides you with a customized growth plan, including your personal scores. Go to businessgrowthscorecard.com to take the test right now. I look forward to helping you grow your business with ease and excellence.